While I was at the zoo, someone ran up to me and yelled, "Oh my god, he's gonna fall in!" She was grabbing my shoulder, and I turned around thinking, what? Who? And that's when I saw where she was pointing. In that moment, I realized my son Tommy wasn't standing next to me anymore as I was waiting to pay for his ice cream, and was now climbing over the top of an enclosure. I didn't think this was real life at first, and instantly yelled, "Tommy, what are you doing?" He looked over at me. "Look, Mom, I'm gonna feed them." Feed them? A crowd of people were screaming, telling him to be careful because he can get really hurt. Someone else yelled, "They're gonna pull you inside. Get down from there." And that's when it hit me. I looked over and saw the sign, and saw what enclosure this was. Silverback gorillas. I had to get to him before something happened. I started running, but I was too far away. The crowd was thick, and people were just standing there filming on their phones instead of helping. I shoved past them, screaming his name. "Tommy, get down from there!" But Tommy didn't even flinch. He just turned around, saw me, and smiled the biggest smile I've ever seen. "Look at me, Mommy! Look, it's Donkey Kong!" The huge gorillas were walking over to him now, curious why this little white kid was sitting on the edge of the wall. Tommy had no idea how much danger he was in. I kept pushing through the crowd, but every second felt like an hour. "Mom, I'm gonna feed them!" And that's when I noticed what he was doing. He held up a yellow banana, and I realized he must have snagged it from the ice cream stand while I wasn't looking. But then the gorillas saw it too. I finally pushed my way up to the glass, but Tommy was too high on top of the wall. The gorillas were walking over to him, and when they saw that ripe banana from closer, they started getting riled up. They went from curious to aggressive in seconds. One of them started beating its chest hard, and they were screaming for it. "Tommy, put the banana down and get off the fence!" But he wasn't listening. He thought they were friendly. He started waving the banana around, laughing, completely oblivious. The gorillas were getting closer now. One of them was right below him, standing on its hind legs, reaching up toward the fence. I finally made it to the glass barrier, but there was nothing I could do from here. I started banging on the glass, trying to scare them away. "Hey, back off! Get away from him!" But banging on the glass only made things worse. The gorillas got more agitated. They started hooting and beating their chests. Everyone was screaming. I was losing my mind. "Tommy, get the hell down right now! I'm gonna give them a snack, Mommy! Tommy, no!" He leaned forward, stretching his arm out as far as it could go, holding that banana toward the silverback like he was feeding a horse. The gorilla reached up, and it didn't just grab the banana, it grabbed Tommy's entire arm. Time stopped. I heard my own scream like it was coming from someone else. The gorilla yanked, and Tommy fell completely into the gorilla den. "Tommy! Oh my god!" Everyone watched and recorded as both gorillas went absolutely insane. They were beating their chests, hooting, circling my son like he was prey. Tommy was screaming, crying, trying to crawl away, but he had nowhere to go. I completely lost it. I started climbing the fence myself, ready to jump in after him, but 3 people grabbed me and pulled me back. "Ma'am, you can't go in there!" I didn't care. I was ready to fight every single one of them. "That's my son! Let go of me!" I looked around desperately for anyone who could help. "Where are the zookeepers? Somebody do something!" Finally, I saw them. A team of zookeepers came sprinting around the corner, and I felt a wave of relief wash over me. They were carrying tranquilizer guns. But just as I thought they were gonna save my boy's life, one of the zookeepers yelled, "Hey, stop! Drop the banana!" I stared in shock. Did he just say banana? I watched in disbelief as the zookeepers completely ignored Tommy. They weren't even looking at him. Their eyes were locked on the silverback, who was now holding the banana up like a trophy, about to take a bite. Tommy started crawling toward the zookeepers, reaching out for help, but they literally stepped around him, like he wasn't even there. The gorilla was actively grabbing onto my son with one hand, banana in the other. "What are you doing? Save my son!" The silverback brought the banana to his mouth, and that's when all 3 zookeepers fired. The tranquilizer darts hit both gorillas almost simultaneously. The silverback stumbled, still trying to eat the banana, desperately shoving it toward his mouth as his legs gave out. Within seconds, both of them were unconscious on the ground. Tommy scrambled to his feet and sprinted toward the emergency exit, where a zookeeper finally grabbed him and pulled him to safety. I pushed through everyone to get to my son. He was safe, but then I turned to the head zookeeper, and all that relief turned into rage. "What the hell was that? Why didn't you save my son?" The zookeeper had the audacity to look annoyed. "Sir, a regular banana can contaminate these gorillas. It could kill them. Do you know how expensive they are?" I stared at him. I couldn't even respond. I called my lawyer, and the only bananas they'll be seeing are in the prison cafeteria.